Hello, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Learning is fun. So, today's topic is about clause and its type. I will also tell about the subordinating clause and its types. So, before I go to the next, I will request you please, if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. So, let's start. I will start my session with what is clause, because before we proceed to the next, concept of clause should be clear to you. So what is clause? It is a group of word. A clause comprises of group of words which includes a subject and predicate. This is the main part of the clause, that a group of word, at that time it can be a clause when it should have subject and predicate. Without subject and predicate, a group of word cannot be a clause. So clauses, on the basis of that, clauses are of two types. So first, independent or principal clause, and we can also term it as a main clause. The second is dependent or the subordinating clause. Here, the name itself tells you about which type of clause it is. For example, just see here, independent. The word independent tells you that it does not, that part of clause which does not depend on the other part of the sentence to grab its meaning. So independent clause can also be termed as a principal clause or the main clause. Why main clause? Because the other clauses depend on this part of the sentence to grab its complete meaning. And the next is dependent or the subordinating clause. Dependent, again here name itself tells you, dependent means this part of the clause depends on the main clause or the independent clause to get its meaning. So we can term it with another name, that is subordinating clause. So I will tell you about it more about it, but let me give you some example. So examples, when I came here, I saw him. So please read this sentence very carefully, that the whole sentence is made up of two different sentences. The first one is I saw him, and the second is when I came here. If you split this sentence, you will get that this part of sentence, here the both part have subject, here it is I, and in this part here it have subject as I again. Here also it have the predicate, that is came here, and here also the predicate part is saw him. So both have subject and predicate, but if we find the meaning of it, we will find that I saw him gives the complete sense. So we can term it as a main clause, and the other one when I came here, it depends on this part of the sentence to get its whole meaning. So this part of the sentence can be termed as a subordinating clause. So what is subordinating clause? Subordinating clause is, it is a dependent clause and cannot function on its own because it leaves an idea or thought unfinished. Unfinished means incomplete. Why? Because earlier also I've told that to get its complete meaning, it depends on the main clause. It alone cannot form a complete sentence. It is a sentence, but it cannot give the complete sense. To get the complete sense, it depends on the main clause. So we can term it at subordinating clause also as a dependent clause. One more thing about it, that dependent clause often begins with the subordinating conjunction and is connected with the main clause. By what? By the help of subordinating conjunction. So dependent clause and independent clause, that is the other name, that is subordinating clause or the principal clause, get connected with each other with the help of subordinating conjunction. So the example will make your point more clear. Just see once again, here I have taken one more sentence. I know that he cannot do it. So again this whole sentence is of two different sentence. The first one is I know, the other part is he cannot do it. So the whole sentence is made up of two different sentence, I know and he cannot do it. So here also once again I will tell that the whole sentence means the two part of the sentence have both have subject and predicate, because to be a clause, earlier also I have told that a clause should have, a group of words should have a subject and predicate both. So here the subject is I and the predicate is no. Subject is I and predicate is no. Here also the second part of the sentence, here he is subject and cannot do it is a predicate. So both sentence get connected with each other with the help of the conjunction, that is subordinating conjunction, that is that. So since that helps the subordinating clause to get connected with the main clause, it is termed to be as a subordinating conjunction. And here you can see that I know gives the complete sense, but he cannot do it gives incomplete sense. Therefore, with the mean of the meaning, we can say that I know is a principal clause and he cannot do it is a subordinating clause, as it does not give complete sense. It have to depend to the main clause to get its complete meaning. So next is types of subordinating clause. So the first one is noun clause. We can also term it as a content clause. The second is adjective clause or relative clause. The third is adverb clause. So let me tell you about the first, that is the noun or the content clause. What is it? So what is noun clause or the content clause? A noun or the content clause is a group of words which contains a subject and predicate of its own and does the work of noun. Here, since it is a clause, so it is very important that it should have subject and predicate, because it is the first thing to satisfy the condition to be a clause, that is subject and predicate. So a group of word can be a noun clause if it contains subject and predicate, and it should work like a noun. One more thing, that is to be a noun clause, it should follow subject, verb, object, this sequence. The subordinating clause always rests either on the place of subject or the object. So how can we see? The second rule will become easy to understand when you see the example. The second rule tells that it follows subject, verb and object sentence structure, and the subordinating clause always rest, means it will always be either on the subject part or in the object part. Here, what is subject? I is the subject. Fear is verb. Just see the sentence structure. Subject, here also subject. Verb, verb. And the object part is that I shall fear. So you can, in the other way also you can find, just ask yourself with a question, that is what? I fear what? So I fear what? If you get the answer by asking the question what, and the whatever the answer you get, that is I fear what? I fear that I shall fail. Here the answer, the question of my answer is that I shall fail is a noun clause. So one more trick I will tell, that how to find the noun clause if you find it difficult, by seeing this sentence structure, that is subject, verb and object. Either the subordinating clause will be in the subject place or it will be in the object place. Just see here, I fear, just replace that word with it. Whatever the sentence you get, if it is a noun clause, if you replace the subject or the object with it, and if you get the meaning of it, then it is noun clause. If you don't get the meaning of it, then it is not noun clause. For example, in the previous sentence, if I replace I with it fear that, so does it gives any meaning? No. So but if we replace the second part of the sentence with it, what I have told, either the subordinated clause will rest in the subject or will rest in the object. So here already we have subject, so no need to replace. Here we don't have the object, so if we can replace the second part of the sentence with it, that I fear it, then also it gives some meaning. Therefore we can tell that it is a noun clause. I think now your noun clause, concept of noun clause have become easier. We can get noun clause by the two method. First, just go to the verb and ask what. If you get the answer, whatever the answer you get asking the question what, that part of the sentence can be termed as a subordinating clause of. Or the other thing is, if you could replace the subject or the object with it, and then also it gives the meaning of it, then it will be noun clause. I hope now the noun clause, the concept of the noun clause is more clear to you. Now let's move to the next, that is adjective or the relative clause. Both are the same. Both adjective or relative clause are one and the same. So what is adjective clause? Again, it is a group of words. Since it is a clause, so it should have both subject and predicate, and it should act like an adjective. So how it will act like adjective? Just see the example here. The first one I have taken, the umbrella which has a broken handle is mine. So just again see the umbrella. The umbrella here either come to the next part, that is subordinating clause, that is which subordinating conjunction is here, which has a broken handle is mine. So which has a broken handle? Just ask yourself question. Broken handle. Broken handle of what? Broken handle of umbrella. Say, as as the broken handle is as the broken handle is telling about what? Umbrella. And umbrella is what? Umbrella is nothing but it is a noun. So what is the definition of adjective? Adjective is a word which tells something about the noun, which qualifies noun. So here the broken handle is telling about what? It is telling about the umbrella, and umbrella is noun, so therefore we can tell it as that it is working like an adjective. So it is a adjective or the relative clause. The next is he died in the village where he was born. So again come to the next part, that is where. Where is the subordinating clause, sorry, subordinating conjunction, and where he was born. Where he was born? He was born in the village. So again village, we are talking about village. So just you have to ask, subordinating clause is talking about what? It is in the previous sentence also the subordinating clause is talking about the umbrella. So umbrella was noun, so therefore it is adjective. Here also where he was born, so we are talking about the village. So here village is all, again it is a noun. So in the both the sentence we find that the subordinating clause is working like an adjective, as it is telling something more about the noun. So therefore it is adjective or the relative clause. The next is adverb clause. So what is adverb clause? Again it is a group of words which have subject and predicate of its own, and it will work like an adverb clause. So what is adverb? Before I go then to the further explanation, uh, just see what is adverb clause. Adverb clause, the name itself tells that adverb means add something to verb, means that word which tells more about verb is called adverb clause. So here let us see the examples. It will clear your doubt. So they rested when evening came. Again, just see here the subordinating conjunction is when. So when evening came, then what happened? When evening came, what happened? They rested. So when evening came, they did what? They rested. Since rested is a verb, that means here subordinating conjunction is talking about the verb and not the noun. So since it is a verb and it is telling about the verb, therefore the whole sentence, the whole subordinating clause is what? It is an adverb clause. Just come to the next, that is you may sit wherever you like. So again just see, wherever you like, what will do? What, wherever you like? Wherever you like you can sit. So what we are going to do, that is to sit. Again to sit is what? It is a verb. So subordinating clause is talking about verb, and since it is talking about verb, therefore it is adverb clause. So adverb clause is what? The clause which tells more about verb. So I think, I hope that your concept has now cleared. Hope you have liked and enjoyed my video. So one more example I would like to give before I end my video, that is if you eat too much you will be ill. So what will happen? If, here what is subordinating conjunction? That is if. So if you eat too much, what will happen? You will be ill. So we are talking about ill. The subordinating conjunction is talking about ill, that is to get unwell. So again it is a verb. So subordinating clause is talking about verb. So therefore here again the subordinating conjunction, subordinating clause is about, it is what? It is adverb clause. Hope you have liked my video, you have understood everything whatever I have taught. So please, if you did like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe my channel, and please press the bell icon so that whenever I will post new video, you will come to know about it. You will get the notification. So once again, see you in the next video. Okay, bye.